another episode of Car Chronicles. Let me know if you're into this, like, raw, unedited, unplanned conversations, if this information has been serving you or interesting, anything at all. If you're into it, let me know, and I'll keep it going. Car rides for me is really when I put my thoughts together, just time alone, something about like just moving, and it just clears my head and gets my thoughts in order. And one thing that's really been on my mind for the past several weeks is my purpose. And as we shift into this new energetic earth, into this new world, what is my purpose and how can I best serve others, but also myself and my family? You know, looking back at the past couple years in my business and how I was operating, it wasn't serving me, and in reflection of that, it didn't serve my clients as well as it could have. And one thing that became clear the other day as I was meditating and been reading a lot, just really moving slowly and trusting that the clarity I'm looking for in this next step will come. And I think it came, at least like a little baby step in that direction. It goes back to childhood. I always was obsessed with the night sky and the stars. I remember, I think it was like 7th grade, there was an extra credit project if we read this like additional textbook on space and weather and the sky and clouds and those sorts of things. If we read that and like did a little book report, we got extra credit, and it was a lot of work, but I was like so into it that I did it. And not that I remember a whole lot, but I did it. And there's always been this one cluster of stars. My bedroom was I could always very clearly see Orion and this little cluster of stars, which since I was a kid, I always thought it was the Little Dipper because it looked just like a little cup. So it was the Little Dipper, but it was mine. And not in like a possession, but like I just knew it was special to me, and like I could always find it in the night sky with like ease. And it was special. And I never really thought about it. Like, it honestly, up until maybe like a week ago, I always had thought of it as a Little Dipper. And I pointed it out to Daniel, and I was like, hey, like do you ever look at that, group of stars? Does it make you feel or think anything? And he corrected me that it wasn't the Little Dipper. So then I was like, well, shit, I gotta figure out what this is. And I think it's called Star Walk app, where you can, like, it moves with you. It's like interactive. You can look at the sky and figure out what you're looking at. So I figured it out, and it is the Pleiadian constellation. And then it like really sank in, all of this that I've been reading. I recently read The 7 Daughters of Eve, which there's 7 stars in the Pleiadian constellation. 7 is just like it is just a very powerful, potent number, but especially within this group of beings, I think. I don't know a lot, so bear with me. But one thing came clear. I've been thinking about the Pleiadians. We recently got a cat, actually, and I really think she brought in some of this Pleiadian energy into our house to help me, which has helped me to have more consciousness and focus and thoughts and more information coming in about this whole topic. And really, it is coming into my purpose. My cat holds that like extra dimensional kind of alien energy that she just does. And so anyway, getting a little off track here. I've just been thinking about it and watching, documentaries, reading what I can, and it hit me like we're seeing so much polarization right now, so much polarization. And when something new, when this new energy, this new shift in our consciousness, in our awakening, in our evolution as humans happened. There's in any sort of shift, literally anything new, there's going to be an opposition that comes up that's fearful. Whether it's like fearful of change or, looking at themselves, like what shifted here for me, or like what do I need to change in my life to adjust to this new world, or this new process, this new lifestyle. And that's human. We're afraid of change. We enjoy comfort. But there's something to be said about really, I'm going to say this and then I'm going to back it up. So there's something to be said about facing our fears, in moving into what's fearful and letting ourselves feel that for a moment. And the reason we want to feel that is so we can discern whether or not that fear is one that is like of control. Is it a controlling fear? Is somebody or something trying to make you act a certain way or be a certain way? But then sometimes we also have fear when it's like a boundary, an edge we're pushing of ourselves. And that's an opportunity for growth. Like for me, thinking back, this just came to me with my business. Coming out, recording this right now would have scared the shit out of me. I would have been scared and I would have been like, nope, I can probably find a way. But that was like a keep me small fear. So we need to sit with the fear enough to discern what role it's playing. I think that's important. But when this opposition comes up, it causes deeper polarization. Those who are already fearful are going to side more with that fear because it's comfortable. It feels like, to them, it feels like they're doing something. It feels like they're taking meaningful action. And often this ends up being extreme action or extreme change, extreme restrictions. We also see this polarization that we're seeing outwardly is also happening internally, in our subtle body, in our energetic body. As we've all begun to awaken at many levels, our thought processes are different. Those upper chakras are really activated. We're starting to feel more comfortable in speaking our voice. Communicating and connecting through the heart, I think, is the biggest indication of that. That's happening more and more. We're more compassionate, showing more empathy. But our lower chakras have to catch up in order to bring this reality into bring this like mental, these upper chakra things that we have awakened and aligned. In order to really see that reflected in our outward reality, we need to get our lower chakras caught up and integrated fully. We need to work through those scarcity fears, these like deep-seated fears in the core of who we are as humanity that really started, centuries ago to keep us safe. And it did keep us safe. That fear of the darkness or snakes and animals and like that kept us safe. And that's a really basic explanation, or example, I should say. But we're beyond that now. We're moving beyond that. And it's going to be uncomfortable integrating those lower chakras. A lot of deep trauma, a lot of generational trauma is held there. So not even within this lifetime and the struggles you faced within this lifetime, but the struggles you faced in past lives. And that's my purpose, is clearing out those lower chakras, grounding you, reminding you of your connection with the earth and how comforting it is just to be grounded in yourself, in your body, in your experience, and also that connection with the earth. And really not just hearing this and taking it in your mental body, but really allowing it to integrate into the energy bodies that you are an embodiment of the earth. You know, that God consciousness, source is earth, is us. And I think when I start to look at our world right now, it's allowed me to shift my thinking. You know, like the people who I don't agree with are really living in this space of fear and not quite ready to let go. But that also represents part of myself. There's part of myself who does get caught up in the fear of what's happening in the world and what's going to happen. I get caught up in that. I'm human, of course. But this year in particular, have really learned to discern if information is causing me to have a fear response in my body, and a fear response in the real way that it's a controlling fear. Or is this information I'm taking lighting up my heart? Is it really hitting that heart chakra and allowing me deeper connection and empathy with people in my life? I work in a call center, so I talk with people from all over the country, and it's even been really visible within the communication or conversations I have with people. So, you know, I would say it is really split down the middle overall. There's a lot of people who have been so kind lately, so kind, and really you can tell they're communicating from their heart and kindness, and not trying to ruffle feathers or come across as rude, even if they may be upset, you know, just like really coming across kind with kindness. And there's a lot of people who are still stuck in those lower chakras that haven't been integrated fully, and you hear this through scarcity, through lack, through taking on this misfortune in their life as their own. And yeah, I guess let this be a reminder to, one, allow yourself to feel these things. Don't push them aside. Don't ignore them. Don't put them aside in pursuit of positivity. Allow yourselves to feel them. By feeling them, you're allowing yourself to discern what this information means for yourself. And it is truly for yourself. It's not for anyone else. It doesn't matter what is right or wrong. What matters is how it feels in your body and what your truth is, and if you can function and feel good in your life, in this world. Also allows you to see when your functioning and information is serving your heart and your higher purpose. So yeah, I know shit's been wild, and I really don't see it getting any better. But I am really here to serve you in clearing out those lower chakras of past traumas, wounds, limiting beliefs, things from this life and the previous lives, to help you create that balanced groundedness that you want. Because we need to integrate those lower energy chakras, that lower part of our subtle body, because that division we're seeing is a division we're experiencing within ourselves. And if I can help a handful of people integrate those lower chakras, really bring that awakened, loving awareness to their whole subtle body, to their whole being, that slowly is raising the total vibration, the overall vibration. And it feels so good, and I'm not exactly sure where I'm taking this next personally. I'm still going to be doing my womb coaching, my womb healing, because That's what that's all about. Really tapping into those generational and current life traumas that we're holding in that womb space. I love you all. I love you like so much. I have so much love for you. If you're watching this and you're seeking this information for yourself, for your children, for your family, for all of us living a human experience in this moment. It's always working out best case scenario, and I'm so honored and excited to see really where we find ourselves January 2022. I think it's going to be some incredible shifting happening, and as always, shoot me a message, drop me a comment. I want to know how you're doing, how this information is landing, if you're like vibing with it or if it's not for you. Either way, let me know. Have a beautiful day.